Welcome to Own the Season podcast. We will talk to industry insiders along with outdoor enthusiasts to help you own your season. Now let's join hosts Art and Michelle Helen with Brad Jones. Own the Season podcast is sponsored by Griffin Armament, the oldest privately owned silencer manufacturer in the United States. Go to griffinarmament.com to learn how you can get a silencer shipped to your door. Griffin Armament, engineered silence.
Hello and welcome to Own the Season podcast. I'm Michelle Helen, along with Art Helen and Brad Jones. And our guest today is Greg Prince from the Wisconsin Bowhunters Association. Hi, Greg.
Hello, Michelle. Hello, Art. How are you today?
Done with work, and now you're on to something else today?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the rest of us, right?
So before we get talking about the Wisconsin Bowhunters, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into hunting and how you got into bow hunting. Just a little bit about your hunting story.
Sure. I'm 63 years old, and I grew up in a little town called Bloomer, Wisconsin, about 20 miles north of Eau Claire. My family all hunted, so that was just kind of a part of who we were. We have a family deer camp in northern Wisconsin that is primarily, our family gets together for gun season, and we've been doing that since 1934.
Wow.
So that's a pretty special thing. My dad had a friend who had started bow hunting, and he would help my dad with different jobs. And anyway, he had a recurve bow, an older herder's recurve bow, and he had just gotten a compound, and he was going to sell it. And I loved to shoot archery. I shot archery in our summer rec program, and I talked my dad into letting me get that bow from him, and that was when I was in the 8th grade. And I started bow hunting with that recurve. I bought my first compound, a PSE Pacer, in the summer of 1977, going into my sophomore year, and I guess from there it's just gone. And so it's just been a big part of who I am and what I really enjoy doing.
It sounds like it. Wow. I'm just still amazed at the longevity of your bow camp. That's like nearly 100 years of a hunting legacy there. For your family hunt camp. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We have relatives who come back for that from Arizona, and we have friends and family from Minnesota, from Illinois, Indiana. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah. Did you have any, we've talked about this on other podcasts, kind of the Wisconsin hunting tradition and the bow camp, the hunting camp tradition. How has that changed, or did you have to make any adjustments with, the change of Wisconsin's hunting season structure and through the CWD years, or did it just kind of remain strong and stayed the same throughout all that?
No, we really didn't, because knock on wood, we really haven't been affected by CWD in that area of the state. Our camp is in northern Wisconsin, in Sawyer County, up by a little town called Winter, which is about maybe 40 minutes kind of southeast of Hayward. So CWD has not been a huge issue. Wolves have been a huge issue for us.
Okay.
So we do the traditional 9-day season, and it's never really changed. We've just kind of stuck with it and maintained it throughout all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys keep a log of harvest and things like that and conditions during the 9-day season?
Yeah, we do. For a while it kind of dropped off, but now I try to make sure that we do every year. That I sit down at the end of the season, and usually I do it 2-3 times during the season. I write down, who's up for the season, what the weather was like, what happened on opening day, what happened on opening weekend, and then usually I'll give an update during the week in it. And so yeah, that's all part of our camp.
Wow, that's just awesome. That's very cool. Very, very cool.
That's neat, and to see the tradition still, alive and going well in the northern part of the state is, as things have changed a lot down here in the southern part of the state with all the CWD and stuff. So it's good to see that tradition still carrying on in different parts of the state, and I'm sure that it's probably carried on to the younger generation and, kids and grandkids and everybody else, hopefully coming back and enjoying those same seasons.
Well, and that's one of the cool things is to see, some of there are camps up there that have disappeared that were, traditional camps that were there when I was growing up. And, but there's still, a few of them up there that are hanging on and, and they continue to promote, that hunting tradition. And it's just a really cool thing.
Yeah, that is pretty cool to see that. And, like you said, but things change, you've got wolves up there. We've got CWD here. And, we're more familiar with Bloomer area as Michelle and I, usually if we draw our fisher tags, we end up in that area doing our trapping for fishers. So she's been lucky. I have not. I had one trip my trap. I don't know how he or she did it. How
you escape a conibear? Yeah.
Yeah, how you escape a conibear, but it
trip it, but
did.
don't get it. Yeah.
And I wish I would have had a camera, but the conibear and all I can think of is the types of traps, that I'm using is
or the boxes
that I'm using. If it came from the, outside and, because they're like a wire, covered and somehow, tripped it, got a stick or got, something to trip it. And, that, unfortunately my fisher tag went bye-bye and so did my fisher. And now I've got to wait for a few years again before I get to try again. So,
right.
Interestingly, I also know exactly where Winter is. I have a good childhood friend who grew up there, so I've been to Winter. Yeah, small world, right?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. So, how did you get involved in Wisconsin Bowhunters?
Well, I was a teacher for 36 years, and anyway, at the school district that I was teaching in, I'd heard about the National Archery in the Schools program in 2004. And anyway, and I kind of wanted to get that going in our school and so our kids could learn how, to shoot archery properly, and hopefully it would make it more fun for them. And Wisconsin Bowhunters has a program that they will donate money to schools who request it from them as part of our youth fund to help them fund an NASP program. And I applied for some money from the Wisconsin Bowhunters, and we were lucky enough to get some money to help us get our program started. So that year, that was in 2005, I went to the convention. It was in Madison, Wisconsin, because to go say thank you and just to go meet some of the people and everything. And as we got talking, they were like, we're looking for a director down in your area, and you seem like you would really be a good fit and you would do a good job. Would you be interested? Well, at first I kind of hemmed and hawed around and wasn't sure if I wanted to. And then I decided, well, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. So that was in 2005. And so here it is, 2026. And I've been a director now for 21 years.
Wow. Good for you. Thanks for doing that. I'm sure they're very appreciative of that. So you're like a regional, is there a regional director?
Yeah.
Is that what
the state is divided into 10 areas or 10 regions. And there's anywhere from 2 to 4 directors in a region, depending upon the population of that region. And so I'm in southeastern Wisconsin. I represent District 10 is what it's referred to as. District 10 is made up of Racine, Kenosha, Walworth, Waukesha, Jefferson, Dodge, Milwaukee counties, and so that's where, and so every area is a little bit different, but that's the area I represent.
Okay.
So who's down in our area?
Your area would be, you are in, let's see, district, I'm going to make sure I don't mess this up.
No one really knows. Well,
District,
people could look
you're
up.
in District 9, and currently we have a vacancy in District 9.
Huh.
There you go, Art.
No. Unfortunately, I got way too
Art,
many
you
irons
asked
in the
the
fire.
question, so
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We just last year handed off the National Wild Turkey Federation chapter presidency after being the first and only president of the chapter, like since the chapter was started.
25 years
or more. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I think it's been even longer. So we're not looking to take on another role like that right now. So tell us about some of the good work that Wisconsin Bowhunters does.
So we have 3 pillars that are built around. They're the same 3 pillars as Pope and Young. We actually came up with those before Pope and Young did, and I know probably they're going to go, what? But we did: promote, preserve, and protect. And what our slogan is preserving the history, protecting the future. And so what we try to do is, we try to, in Wisconsin, we were the first state in the United States to have an archery season. And it was started by, and Wisconsin Bowhunters actually were founded in 1941. This is our 85th year. Were instrumental in getting an archery-only season. When people first started hunting with a bow in Wisconsin, they could hunt with, you had to hunt during the gun season. And so, obviously, and then through the years, Wisconsin Bowhunters have played a big role in fighting for what our current, for what the archery season is. And so obviously we want to continue to see, and make sure that the bow hunters in our state continue to have the opportunity to be able to have a generous season, and have the time to be able to, be in the woods and have a quality experience, and a good opportunity for success. So that's so that's really what we do. And then obviously protecting the future. We are politically active when it comes to bow hunting and hunting issues. We support a lot of other groups as well in regard to, like right now, obviously one of the issues that's going to be coming up in our state is the management of timber wolves. And we believe that they should be managed. We're not saying they should be eradicated, but we believe they should be managed like any other game animal in the state. And so, we play a role in that. So we try to be active in regard to the idea of, like I said, preserving what we have, protecting what we have, and promoting it as well to encourage new people to get involved.
You mentioned at the start, how you got into it was through the NAS program, and and that the association provided some funds through one of its programs. Do they still do that? And are there other youth related programs?
We started doing we got involved in NASP in 2005. We have donated money to 117 schools in our state. We continue to, we have a fund set aside for schools to make a request to Wisconsin Bowhunters if they need money for their program, that they can do that. And we will, help them out if, we can all do it. And so, we continue to be active. As a matter of fact, we will have, there will be a NASP shoot, an NASP shoot at our state convention. We've been running one now for, I don't know how many years we've run our NASP shoot. But it starts actually, we have so many schools that that want to be a part of this, that it starts on Friday evening, and it'll run most of the day on Saturday as well, with a different flights mm-hmm. that the schools could sign up for. Mm-hmm. We still continue to be very active involved. We're starting to get involved a little bit with S3DA. That's still somewhat new for us, but we work with the State Department of Natural Resources with these. We donate to raise that full draw bow hunting camp. That's in Shawano, Wisconsin. And this year it's July 23rd through the 26th. And we provide 4 $250 scholarships for 4 kids to be able to attend that, where maybe they wouldn't have been able to otherwise. We're involved with the DNR with the Midwest Outdoor Heritage Education Program. They do that they run one leg of it in Poinet, then they run another leg of it in Milwaukee, and we work at that to help with the education of the kids that are there, as well as we donate money to help make that possible along the way. So we try to be involved in, a number of things. Youth are, because obviously youth are the future of our program, or the future of hunting. And so whatever we can do to try to get kids involved, we're trying to be a part of it.
That sounds great. We're familiar with OHEC. It's a great organization. Oh, heck yeah, right? But there was another acronym, another program you briefly mentioned that you worked with the DNR on, and you had an abbreviation or an acronym, and I don't know that we were familiar with that one. Can you talk about that one?
S3DA?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. So S3DA is the 3D version of NASP.
Okay.
And it's an outdoor, and they generally shoot outdoors. They do shoot indoors as well sometimes, but it's the opportunity for kids to be able to shoot a competitive 3D situation instead of just spot shooting.
Okay, nice.
And there's a circuit for that? Did you say, are they held at a couple different places throughout the state, or?
Yeah, they hold shoots throughout the state in different areas.
Okay.
No.
Are those for youth? Are those all youth?
Yes, and those are for youth.
Okay, yep. Nice.
And they have teams like, they're not only school-based, they're also sometimes they'll be sponsored by like an archery club or something like that as well.
Interesting.
And so it's a pretty neat program. It's and it's starting to grow. It's still relatively new. Mm-hmm. It's only been around a few years now. I don't know exactly how many to say.
Okay.
And it's really starting to take off now.
Interesting. So you guys do a lot of, that 3D shoot now and the NASP, and then you also, I believe you have one of the longest running or biggest, I should say, broadhead shoot. Do you still?
Yeah. Our state broadhead shoot is held in New Lisbon, Wisconsin, at Kennedy County Park. It's usually the weekend after Labor Day. At one time, they used to draw over 600 shooters to the shoot. We still get over 200 people who attend it. attendance isn't quite as strong as what it used to be, but with the advent of mechanical broadheads and the ability, I guess, of people, the ability to tune their bows, maybe the feeling of not having to practice with their broadheads, and obviously you shoot through cardboard targets into sand bunkers. That was the traditional broadhead target, and so we still do that. And some people don't want to do that, but we still have it's a great weekend. There's camping available at it. There's novelty shoots. There's a lot of things that are going on there, and the shoot's still going, and we're looking for ways to make it better, and to try to increase attendance, and to try, and to make sure that it stays viable and running.
Nice.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to shoot that years ago, and it was one of the funnest weekends I've ever had with my bow before. It was awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah.
Has it always been on?
You guys also have your convention in the spring up in Stevens Point. The first convention I went to was, I believe, 1977 or 78. It's been a long time, and once again, that was another just awesome event.
Yeah. Our convention this year is at Stevens Point. It's on March 7th. It's at the Holiday Inn Hotel and Convention Center. We did a poll of the membership a couple of years back, and the majority had said they would prefer a 1-day versus a 2-day convention. Some people still come up the day before on Friday, and they get together with their groups and and have some fun. But it starts at 8 a.m. on Saturday, and it ends at 5 p.m. We have speakers there. We have vendors. We have the NASP archery tournament that's going on. There's a Pope and Young scoring booth. So if a person has a head they would like to get scored, it's there. We have raffles with some really cool stuff that we raffle off. Hoyt donates. This will be the third year now. They've donated a bow package to us of the person's choosing. So any bow that they basically want to get, they can get. And along with accessories. So that's one of the that's one of the raffle prizes that is there. Then the membership banquet is at 6 p.m. We have our keynote speaker, who this year is Art Helen. And
they were hard up.
And I think it should be a great experience. And so it's a really good day. It's a lot of fun. And if people are looking for something to do on Saturday, March 7th, I would, come up for the day. You do not have to be a member to attend the convention. You do have to be a member to attend the banquet. And you can, if people want to come and check it out, and find out more information about Wisconsin Bowhunters, please do. We would love to have you there.
And so tickets are still available, or people can still plan to come?
Yep. Tickets are still available if people would like to attend. We have a website. It's wisconsinbowhunters.org. They can find more information on there. There is also we have an office in Clintonville. That's where the organizational office is. And they can call the office to get more information, to get tickets for the banquet, whatever they would like to do.
Awesome. You got a couple different ways. Can people show up at the door on that day too?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Yep, they can show up at the door that day, and they can register right that day. We'll never turn anyone away.
Right. Yeah. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On our other podcasts, we've talked about that and getting behind organizations and getting behind different things that are out there to help, support the industry, but also help grow the industry, because I don't think people understand the importance of having some of these organizations behind us to lobby for our seasons, our rights, different things. And people just, I think, assume that they're going to do that. And they, and people say, oh, I'm not going to spend, $25 a year or $100 a year or whatever to do that. But yet they'll go down and buy whatever in lottery tickets or pack of cigarettes.
We all spend money on stupider stuff, right?
which is fine. I go down,
or $20 coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
I go out for supper, or we go out for supper a couple times a week, and and that's our choices. But
and that's like our membership is, it's $25 for 1 year, and people always ask, well, what do I get for joining? Well, you get 3 magazines a year. We have awards programs, all kinds of different awards programs that, they can participate in. When you have your first bull kill, when registered, when you're a Wisconsin Bowhunter member, you get a gold pin, and that gold pin, then you can have stones embedded in it for every different animal. There's a diamond for a deer, and I'm going to screw up the coloring, but there's a stone, I think it's a ruby for a bear. There's a sapphire. There's an emerald. There's for turkeys. We have a stone for a wolf. We have a stone for an elk now, because those were seasons that were allowed. We have a $10 youth membership, which, it gets many of the same benefits as what you do as an adult. We offer, $60 for a 3-year, $100 for a 5-year, $1,500 for a life membership. A senior life membership, if you're 62 and over, is $750. You can sign up your whole family, and anybody living under the same roof that's under the age of 18 is covered by it for $60. We try to make it, as affordable as we can. We're basically trying to cover. We don't make a lot of money off memberships. We're basically trying to cover the cost of the magazines and the awards that we give out. What we're trying to do is, as much as anything, is provide a service for bow hunters in Wisconsin. Like I said, promote, preserve, protect. We're the ones who are willing to go fight the battles if there's a threat to the season, if there's a threat to, bow hunting in general. That's what this is all about. And that's something that sometimes people don't understand, that you don't get that because you join a group online. I'm not ripping on anybody, but you don't get that because you belong to Archery Talk, or you don't get that because you belong to Bowsite or bowhunting.com or any of that. And I think they're all very valuable groups. I belong to them. And it's like, but we're your bow hunting organization in the state of Wisconsin. And we're the ones who are, when there's an issue, we're the ones who are going to try to protect it, and make sure that you continue to be able to enjoy, the seasons that you have and the bag limits that you have and everything that's there for you. And so and it's a hard thing sometimes to get people to understand.
Yeah, those other organizations, serve an important social aspect, right? They're just purely social, and kind of a support network, if you will, but definitely not doing the same things that organizations like Wisconsin Bowhunters do, or conservation organizations, too.
Yes, exactly.
So we've been talking about, our organization, here in Wisconsin. Is that a standalone organization, or is it like a subsidiary of any national organization? And do you know if what do other states have a comparable or something similar that you know of?
One of the cool things about it is we are the nation's oldest and still largest state bow hunting organization. Our membership has gone down over the last few years, and it's something we're fighting hard to try to continue to maintain and to build. We are, I don't know if we can say affiliated with Pope and Young, but we support Pope and Young. We believe in their principles. We believe in, what they stand for. They've provided a role in helping us. We try to provide support and help to them. We've tried, we have a lot of other state bow hunting organizations look to, when there's a bow hunting issue, they look to Wisconsin to see how we deal with it and what happens. And we've provided support to other states and their organizations to help them in some of the battles, that they've, gone through. And so I think that's kind of a cool thing that, in some ways, there is a network there that we all try to help each other out when we need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's, just listening to that, again, people, I think that they don't understand what they do. It's, when I ran the NWTF chapter here forever, it was consistently, trying to put us up against Pheasants Forever, Whitetails, Unlimited, all these. And where does your money go? What do you do with your money? Why does it go national? Where does it, and that is one big thing with, the Wisconsin Bowhunters Association is for people within the state of Wisconsin. That is where your money goes. Yeah.
I mean, we'll give donations, to different groups, and if it's financially within our means to do it, we, like Sportsman's Alliance, we usually give a donation to every year because of the work they do. And as an example, Hunter Nation is something that we believe in. Those are things that we try to help and we try to support because they're directly or indirectly helping us in our state as well. Mm-hmm. But, one of the cool things by belonging to our state organization, your money stays here in the state and it's used to help you, and it's used to help grow what we have in our state. And I think that's one of the absolute cool things about it. It's not going somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And so, we hope, we'd hope that people would understand that and see that.
Right.
I mean, a couple other things that we do, as far as we give 2 $1,000 scholarships, up to 2 $1,000 scholarships. We have 2 college students who are enrolled in a wildlife related field. Mm-hmm. Which, to try to help them, whether they're going to be a warden, whether they're going to be a wildlife biologist or whatever it may be. But we try to help on that regard. We have run about 15 years now. For about 15 years, we have been a part of the Learn to Hunt Bear Hunt program in the state of Wisconsin. And every year, one youth gets they fill out an application, they write an essay for why they would like the tag, and we select one youth a year to get a free bear tag in the state of Wisconsin. And because of what we're doing, we've also, in the last 3 years, we've given out 6 transfer bear tags to kids. And, we have a bow loaner program that we have available through WBH. We currently have 4 kits that are out. We have 2 or 3 more at the office. And in a bow loaner kit, they get a bow, a case, 6 arrows, and a release for a 1-year contract for $50.
Wow.
And if they want to at the end, they can buy the whole kit at a really discounted rate. And if they don't want to buy it, they just return everything to the office other than they keep the arrows because we can't reuse the arrows. Mm-hmm. And, these are things that we try to do and some of the things that we use some of the money for that we raise. And because we're trying to do what we can to continue to build, bow hunting in Wisconsin. And it was kind of cool this year. We had 3 kids then who had bear tags this year in Wisconsin, 2 through transfer tags that people gave us and 1 learned to hunt. And all 3 kids harvested their bear with a bow and arrow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Very cool. That's very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
So, those are all things that we, because of, people being involved and being members in our group, that allows us to do things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so
That's pretty cool. So here's one for your archery shoot. Maybe you could do like a, do you already do a steel target or not for your broadhead shoots? A solid steel with just a little hole in it. And put.
Yeah, we have had that as a novelty shoot.
Yep.
We used to have one. A gentleman by the name of Ron Coolis. He owns Stay Sharp Broadhead Sharpers.
Yep.
Now, Ron ran for a few years up there, and he had all kinds of prizes called the Ultimate Broadhead Challenge. And he had a 3-inch bullseye, and it was in a piece of laminated. It was a laminated beam, and it had a big sheet of plywood on the front of it. And if you missed, your broadhead stayed in the sheet of plywood, and you autographed it. But then your arrow had to make it all the way through the tunnel. And then anybody who made it through a 20, they had a shoot off later on, and that was at 35 yards. And they shot until there was one person standing. And that was always a really cool little thing. And so that was along the lines of the steel bear.
Well, I tell you, if you did that and did it at like a 50-yard shot with a steel bear, a steel deer, with a broadhead shoot, the broadhead manufacturers and the arrow manufacturers would love you to death, because you know how many more arrows and broadheads they would sell at your shoot.
Yeah.
Because there would be a lot of them getting busted,
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Pretty confident in your abilities.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we do try to do some novelty shoots. So that's something we have along with it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other fundraisers throughout the year that people can get involved in to help you guys raise money?
Yeah, we just had a calendar raffle that we run for the month of December. December 1st through December 31st, $20 for a ticket, and we give away $250 every single day of the month of December, except for Christmas Day, we give away $500. We are just getting started now on an e-bike raffle. The tickets, we just got we had a board of directors meeting on Saturday, and we handed out tickets to the directors. And we're giving away a Rambo Savage 2.0 electric bike. And that will be drawn, the winner of that will be drawn in June at our board meeting. And then we run a third raffle during the year, and we call it a Preserve, Promote, Protect raffle. And we give away about approximately $10,000 in gift cards that are to either last year we did Shields and we did Fleet Farm, and we kind of change, we vary a little bit, but we try to do it that where there's accessible in the state, accessible online, that people can, get value out of for. And so those are our three big fundraisers that we do during the year.
Nice.
Is there anything else about Wisconsin Bowhunters that we haven't touched on yet? Anything else you want to share?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, this is our 85th anniversary. It started in 1941. We do everything we can to try to, I think, create a positive image for bow hunters in the state of Wisconsin, to try to do everything we can to help bow hunters and bow hunting in Wisconsin. And I guess that's what we're going to continue to do. We would love to see, obviously, our membership grow. We'd love to see more people join in, because we think it's an important thing. That's why we're doing what we do. I think it's a good cause, I guess, as much as I can say. And if, anybody has questions, they can always contact the office. They can contact, a director, myself included. I'm currently the vice president as well. And so, we'd be happy to answer any questions we can. And so, we're here though for, the Bowhunters in Wisconsin.
Yeah, congratulations on 85 years of, sounds like being a leader in the bow hunting, world as far as, organizations like that. If others are looking to you, that really, that's something to be proud of for sure.
Well, and I also want to say that, thank you to you and Art for, agreeing to be a part of our convention this year. For Art for being our keynote speaker and Michelle being a part of it and everything. And, it's people like you who really make our convention better and more valuable. I appreciate you taking the time to do this and help us spread the word a little bit about Wisconsin Bowhunters, because it's kind of amazing after all these years, 85 years in existence, and there's people who still have never heard of it or don't know what it's about. And it's like, so.
Yeah.
And then you got guys like Brad who, back in the 70s were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
That's awesome.
It was the coolest thing. I look forward to it every year because they gave out awards to people that shot different animals and stuff at the banquet. It was pretty cool.
We still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So everybody put that on your calendar. That's March 7th, right?
Yep.
At the Holiday Inn Convention Center in Stevens Point. So
that's correct.
Make a day of it and hang out with fellow bow hunters, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or sit and watch some kids come and shoot. I mean, in the NASP shoot, like last year, Columbus, they had a young lady who won the national championship, the first one ever from Wisconsin. They're one of the schools from Columbus. I can't remember, and I feel bad. Won the school national championship title as well. There's some kids who can really shoot who are at this thing. It's really cool to watch them. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's something there for everybody. And I think that's one of the neat things about it.
I know I'm looking forward to it. Let's make sure we close out here. If you can remind everybody one more time how or where they can join Wisconsin Bowhunters and become a member, and how to get tickets or learn more about the upcoming convention.
Sure. So you can go to our website. It's wisconsinbowhunters.org, or they can contact the WBH office at 715-823-4670. And we take, credit cards, debit cards, whatever. Or they can come to the convention and they can register the day of the convention and join right there and right then. And they would still be able to come to the banquet that night if they wanted to come to the banquet that night. So I mean, so those are the three, primary ways to do it. Another thing, that's kind of cool also, along with the Wisconsin Bowhunters, if everybody is at the Wisconsin Bowhunters office in Clintonville, there's the Wisconsin Bowhunters Heritage Foundation Museum. This is a museum of bow hunting history. It's absolutely incredible. They have bows from the beginning to today. They have artifacts, if you want to call them that, everything from, the original, from the pioneers of bow hunting, not only in our state, but even in the country. It's a pretty incredible place, and it's free.
Wow. There's not too much free anymore, is there? So that sounds like a pretty good deal. That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. So again, they can go to wisconsinbowhunters.org. That's our website. They can call the office in Clintonville, or they can come to the convention.
All right. There's no reason not to be there. Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Greg. We appreciate it. And
well, thank you, Michelle, and thanks, Art. Brad, It's been a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thank you.
And we'll see you soon. And
that sounds awesome.
Yeah. For all the listeners out there, if you're in Wisconsin or one of our neighboring states, we hope to see you at the convention. If you're a Wisconsin bow hunter, join Wisconsin Bowhunters. It really makes a difference. Let your voice be heard. Let them be your voice. And if you're not in Wisconsin, look and see if you have a bow hunting organization in your state that perhaps you can join and own the season.
Follow Own the Season Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for listening.
Check back weekly for new episodes.